Why is plus size clothing so awful? Believe it or not, there's actually a reason. And there's also a reason why everything is that awful cold shoulder. Listen to this podcast here called Articles of Interest. And this episode, which premiered just a few weeks ago, I think in late October, is called Plus Sizes. And they talk a lot about these issues, but they basically go over why plus sizes are just awful. One of the things I learned is that clothing companies will make one size, they will put it on a model, and then they will say, yep, you're a size 6, and then they cut it basically to her size and say, this is the size 6. And then as they increase or decrease the size, they just go up or down in a certain number of inches. But people aren't proportional, and that's not how people are built. So that's why a lot of times you'll see that things are very big in certain areas and they're very small in other areas, and maybe they're not long enough because their proportions are for a straight size person. If you don't know, there's petite, straight, mid, and plus. So they're made for those proportions, but then as soon as you start to deviate outside of that, they just make it bigger. And instead of actually accommodating people's different sizes. Women especially can be shaped very differently. They can have a larger belly, maybe a smaller chest, a larger chest, bigger hips. And the cold shoulder was actually made and implemented and used so heavily in plus size clothing because the arms were things that a lot of times didn't adjust as they made the sizes bigger. And so they were finding that the arms especially were really tight on plus size clothing. And so they did the cold shoulder so that it could accommodate different size arms, like your upper arm area. And then the clothes would fit more people because it had that gap. Yeah, go give this a listen and let me know what you think.